violence against others, but also including vulnerable like women with disability. This gathering today is supported by Wakati Foundation and also Mission Advocacy Journalism Center for training of journalists, especially reporters in this space. About 20 to 25 of them are being trained to understand what it means to also have inclusive stories relating to women and girls, especially issues concerning equality, politics, and of course issues pertaining to governance. And this is not something that is far-fetched for us, because we've just seen that in the last election women performed very poorly. And one of the issues that were raised also were visibility for women and how deliberate is the media in inclusive reporting for women issues and women rights. So this training today will bring to bear issues on data resourcing, also accountability reporting, and holding government accountable on gender and women's rights issues, gender budgeting, and safe spaces for women also are some of the things that I will be looking at in this conversation. And I think that at the end of the day, it's going to be a continuous effort, because what happens is that once they get the training, they get back into the newsrooms, in the spaces where they report, they're able to look at every story, every engagement through a gender lens and make sure that they hold government accountable.
To what extent do you think this training will change the narrative? Because over the years we have trainings like this. During elections, you will see the results will come, and it's like it's getting poorer from every election cycle from one to another. So what extent do you think this will change the narrative?
I think that's why we have the collaborative media engagement by Advocacy Journalism Center. One of the key things that it seems to do is to bring together different media personalities and people with their 40 different media to look at issues concerning different spaces. So for us, it is women advocacy and looking at gender rights. Now, it is instructive you ask that question, because this is our second training since we started this engagement with the organization. And what I can tell you is that because of the availability of data through this training, people are able to resource and refer to some of the past and previous numbers to be able to determine where we have gone from where we were and what we used to do. And now going forward, what we intend to do with this training going forward is to begin to use these numbers to create a lot of conversation and advocacy with institutions of government, stakeholders, to begin to demand what next. Because whether we like it or not, it is not just the media that is in the space to seek accountability, the civil society as well. So but what the media does is that the media takes the front line space to bring facts to some of the issues and begin to coordinate engagement between stakeholders.
You said this is not the first in the series. What has been the achievement so far?
Yes, the achievement so far has been that, in the newsrooms, in some of the reportage, people are now very deliberate in looking at stories with gender lenses. So for instance, on health, they're asking you what is the public health system and how it's beneficial for women living with disabilities. How do we also look at reporting the numbers of women who emerged at primaries and the political party level? So there's a lot of consciousness to data gathering. There's a lot of consciousness to using those data and the analysis and the research done by the organization to seek for answers through stakeholders. And I can tell you that some of the engagements we have had, like the town hall meetings that we have had, was as an aftermath of this training, where the reporter said, we need to have a town hall for women to look at issues to discuss women's role in politics and also women's rights. So I think it has gone quite far.
All right. Once again,
as a gender activist there has been a kind of exponential increase in the violence against women. How do you think this particular training will work towards reducing the increase in violence against women?
One of the things that the training is going to also do is look at policy literacy for the trainees, the reporters and the journalists, to be able to look at the bills and how effective they are. For instance, we just have the National Gender Policy Revised Bill, policy. How is that being implemented? Because within that bill, there is a sequence that shows the rules and the nomenclature of what happens within a sexual and gender-based violence environment. Also, the 5 gender bills. They are also being asked to look at and review some of those bills that were failed at the legislature. So this is a consciousness kind of training where they actually activate the need to sustain engagement in the politics of executive. The federal government just highlighted that they have started nominating people for several positions. But we are saying beyond the positions, how are we looking at bills that will favor women? How are we looking at policies to engage women's rights? And that is what this training will do, to activate consciousness of reporters to seek for the answers and hold government accountable.
Your name once again?
Advocacy.
Okay, my role basically was to try to expose and maybe reiterate the role of the media in gender accountability. Gender accountability, of course, involving the promotion of issues around gender equity. Because of patriarchy, many people are averse to the use of the word equality. And so we're also consciously teaching the media to advisedly pick their words. Most men raised in patriarchy would not support a gender equality bill, but may be more open to supporting a gender equity bill. So part of what we are doing by this training is also to open the minds of journalists to also deliberately and strategically using words that can encourage the passing of certain bills that help to promote the interest of gender and to eliminate gender discrimination. You will notice that in the 9th National Assembly, 5 gender bills failed. Part of the reasons, underpinning reason of course being patriarchy, that men do not want to hear anything about women's equality and all. Remember even the history of the Act that was eventually passed in 2015. It had taken over a decade of fighting for it because when it was couched, it was violence against women, then it was violence against girls bill. But the moment the advocacy improved and the name was changed and it came to violence against persons prohibition act, the men who dominate the parliament were more open at that stage to pass it. So this is a training that is an empowering training. One, to open the minds of journalists to renew their knowledge of the role of the media in balancing and promoting gender accountability, and to teaching them nuances, practices within the professional purview and ethics, how they can hold government accountable, and how they can promote issues around gender equity without, of course, breaching any of the professional goals, yet achieving a country and a society that is more balanced, that's more equitable, where the people are not discriminated on the basis of gender, especially as provided for by Section 42 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Zambia.
Apart from the registrar, as in the use of inequality, it is worrisome that despite the demographic of women in choosing the leaders, each year is getting worse. We have a new government in place. How will you set an agenda?
Yes, that's the role of the media to set agenda. One, you must hold people accountable to their campaign promises. Okay, Nigeria is signatory to lots of conventions and all, and for a long time there's been the rhetoric of 35% affirmative action. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in his campaign promises said women would play prominent role in his government. We've seen his appointments for essays to the president, and we've seen that about 10 appointments, 2 women are featured. That is 20% of the appointments so far women are. That is a far cry. So the media needs to go back, look at the promises that Tinubu made as presidential candidate, and hold him to his promises by reminding him, making it a sing-song everything, reminding him, and of course using references to countries that have brought women into a position of leadership and the progress they have been making since then. So it has to be, media has to be involved in the advocacy and persuasion of this new government in order to give women their place of pride.
What's your designation again?
Well, I'm the Executive Director of Men Against Rape Foundation, I'm a journalist and a child and gender rights advocate.
I'm an assistant director of programs presentation, Nigeria Television Authority.
Gender discussion. We've always had this gender discussion in space. With this program today, tell us what you feel will be
Well, for me, and looking at what the people are presenting today, I'm looking at the role of the media in budgeting really for gender purposes. And I'm expecting that at the end of this program, this event today, that the Nigerian media, the practitioners, the print, the electronic, even those in the advertising space and public relations space will have more awareness and a realization of the fact that if we do not discuss these issues, if we do not bring them out to the front burner, nobody will do that for us. And especially for women in Nigeria, I mean, women really need to be out there. Take a look at the 35% affirmative action. How much of that is being realized presently as we speak today? So if we do not talk about these issues, nobody will talk about them for us. And it's very important that we bring these things to the front burner. So I'm expecting that after today's event, there'll be more awareness. The media will also live up to their responsibilities in playing their part, because we're all partners in progress, and one cannot exist without the other.
One of the things we observe again as a reporter and journalist is that the community is discussing about most of the privileged women in areas of power about to always be invasive when it comes to discussions like this, and the women groups have always never bothered. This community is most vital for discussions of this to happen. How far have you reached out to them, and what do you think you can do to bring them on board so a voice will be louder and it will make the job easier for media amplification?
Now, let me give probably an instance here. If you say because a growing child refuses to walk and you abandon that child, will the child ever walk? No. So definitely we just have to keep at it. We must put the pressure on. The ones that are in the corridors of power need to realize that they need to pull those ones that are down, at the lower rung of the ladder up along with them and to support them. Women have to learn to support one another. I mean, it's a known fact, and unfortunately, more so in this part of the world, that women do not support one another. But like it or not, we just have to keep ringing the bell. We have to keep saying it loud and clear, because really, like I said before, one cannot exist without the other. And once they realize that, some people supported them getting to where they are, and that if they do not support others to get to where they are or even higher, well, that will be the end for women. If we do not keep talking about it, I'm sure they will realize it. So, well, the idea is just to keep talking and poking it right in their faces.
There are some traditional and cultural factors that actually limited, cause a kind of limitation as far as the women is concerned, particularly in the northern region. Now, the new lawmakers come around. So what is your message? Because some of the lawmakers still have that mentality regarding the cultural, religious, and traditional mentality about women not to be at the ends of it. What's your message?
You see, the truth of the matter is this: we cannot say it enough. Even with the lawmakers that have just been sworn in with the inauguration of the 10th Assembly, we just cannot say it enough. Yes, I am one for tradition. I am one for our cultures. But excuse me, how far have these cultures and traditions taken us? Women have been seen to be breaking the glass ceilings across the world. So what is the difference? What makes the Nigerian woman different? What makes her different from the woman in Canada, from the woman even in Zimbabwe, from the woman in Morocco? We have women, I mean, these, even in the far northern, the really Islamic countries, we still have women rising to the top. We had a woman who became a prime minister in Pakistan. So please, what is the difference? What makes the Nigerian woman different? We just have to wake up and smell the coffee and realize that these limitations are not getting us anywhere. And we must keep talking about it. It is very, very important. And of course, our men folk must also support us. Thank you very much.